start to play the 30-second counting down video. So everyone know that we are going to start. Thank you so much and stay tuned. Let's go. Let me make sure that I'm unmuted. And before I reveal our backstage to everyone, GM, everyone, welcome to today's Binance live streaming session. We are so happy to have Emma Network to host this event. And we're talking about making DEX mainstream, how chain abstraction changed the game. And we're also very happy to have Rena, BD from Emma Network, as Nina, head of BD from Unicorn X, Michael, co-founder from Vanilla Finance, and Jason, the marketing lead at AV.ai. We are so happy to have you. Now I'm going to remove the banner from the screen so everyone could see the backstage over here. We're so happy to have, right now I said we got over, wow, we already got over 10,000 live views. That's just amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for waiting. First, before we officially invite our speakers to introduce themselves and their project, I wanted to let everyone know that Hema Network is a new layer one blockchain that makes a cross-chain DeFi feel like one smooth app. And with a single Omni account, you can log in once, trade across multi-chain in one click, and let us engine handle routing, gas, and security behind the scenes. Even use cross-chain multi-collateral in perpetual DEX. So this is the features that HEMA provide endowment to enable cross-chain multi-collateral in prep trading. For example, users can use your ARB to long Trump USDT in prep DEX. For developers, HEMA offers plug and play APIs and DE secure wallet tools. So you can also add fast, safe, intent-based cross-chain swaps to your dApps without rebuilding heavy backend infrastructure. And that's the intro of our organizer, Hema Network. Now we would like to welcome Rena, the BD from Hema, to introduce yourself and your project to us. Thank you.
Yes, hi. Thank you, Moonlight, for the introduction. I'm Rina. I'm BD for Hema Network. So as many of the industry people knows that we rebranded from Lantern Tree. We were pretty big on the DID side of factor, and then now we expanded to want to provide to the more industry developers that using our APIs, and then to help them to build a better DEX or better dApps, so that as what you introduced, we can help to them to build a DeFi product or DEX to be really enhanced on the user trading experiences. You can use your USDT or DC stable coins to pay as gas. You don't need to worry about the bridging, and then you have Omni account, one click, one login you can use on any chain, and then we have the Omni executor. So basically what we're trying to do here overall is to help the traders to have a really good trading experiences without needing to figure out all sorts of backend solutions. We're gonna sort that for the users, and then for the developers, we provide simple plug-in and play APIs to help you to have a better building your apps really fast, and then to have a cross-chain function ready, and then to make a safe and fast dApp possible. Thank you for the intro.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rena, for the introduction. And everyone, we do recommend everyone to go to X and give Emma Network a follow so you won't miss our upcoming announcement. And next, we would like to invite Nina from Unicorn X to introduce yourself. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone globally. Thank you so much for supporting us. I'm Nina from Unicorn X. For those who don't know Unicorn X, we are AI-driven DEX, which we can bring real-time token intel, and also you can feel the seamlessly swap crossing the all chain, especially Solana and BSC. Our goal actually, we want to treat all those beginners as a Create Pro in just 8 seconds, and you can done everything. Smarter swap and zero lag, and also for all the process you can control by your own. Actually, as a DEX, I know today we're going to talk more. So I'm so excited to bring all those thinking and experience we started right now. And we hope all the beginner and all the traders, we can have an excellent experience on Unicorn X. And also we can copy top traders, and you can earn from referrals to drive and share your experience, and also can manage all your wallet in one platform. That is us, that is Unicorn X. And for more things, I think I can share later on with all of our guests here. Thank you so much, Moonlight.
That is just awesome. Thank you so much, Nina, for the intro. Nina is the head of BD at Unicorn X. Now we would like to move to Michael, the co-founder at Vanilla Finance. Would you like to introduce yourself and your project to our audience on Binance Live? Thank you.
Sure, yeah. So Michael Cameron, I'm the co-founder and mostly in charge of marketing and BD at Vanilla Finance. We've been on your space, I think, 3 or 4 times now. So hopefully some of your communities aware of what we do, but we've had a lot of updates since before. So let me just explain those to you. So we have recently launched our Super Perps product on chain. So previously we did not have the data on chain, and since we've launched it on chain, we are now ranked between second and third on BNB chain for derivatives and perps. This data can be found on DeFi Llama. We still have one of the largest user bases among any perps DEX. Currently, we have about 6 million total registered users, and we've done about 37 billion USDT worth of trading volume in a little bit under than 8 months. But mostly, we're really excited about launching a new product next month, which is a meme perps product. Essentially, what this product is as we all know, as soon as meme coins are created on Pump.Fun or on Springboard, they graduate to, say, PancakeSwap or DEX Screener, and about 99% of those tokens instantly die, meaning they go to zero. Only a very small percentage of them actually, reach 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion market cap. So basically, users are just hoping that they buy into the, 0.01% of tokens that actually, go to the moon. With our product, you're actually able to short meme coins that go to zero and earn money on the way of it going to zero. So that opens up 99% of the market that does not currently have any product offering. So we're very excited about that product, and super excited to launch it. And maybe I'll go deeper into how that works later on in this AMA.
Of course. Thank you so much, Michael, for the intro. And we certainly wanted to know more about that product later on. Next, let's invite Jason. Jason is a marketing lead from AV.ai. Would you like to introduce yourself and your project to our Binance Live audience? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, everyone. I'm Jason, the lead of marketing, especially focused on global market of AVE. So for us, we are the leading on-chain crypto trading terminal or platform, and we are aggregating more than 130 chains and more than 300 DEX. So basically, our service is for more than 7 million users. In the whole world, especially focused on North America and Asia. And also we have a different product which are focused on Android iOS application and also trading both PC and so basically we're very professional and have a very comprehensive the on-chain data, and also including all of this the token analysis so can make sure all of users can have a smoothly and seamless trading experience on chain our platform. So by the way, we are also the first one and the only one officially be backed by Binance Wallet, which means nearly all of the data that you can see from Binance Wallet is integrated with our API of data. So basically, before Binance Alpha, almost 95% of the trades transactions are happened in our platform, which means basically almost all of the community tokens are being fairly launched, not launched, but it's being traded on our platform before. But from now on, we are like open to more markets including Tron, Tang, and also Solana, BNB chains. Almost all of the mainstream chains are be supported now, and we have like more than 10 billions trading volume per year. Yeah, that's basic information about us, and we're very simple, just a trading terminal for on-chain data and also aggregating on-chain data. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jason, for the introduction to us. And now we have of our speakers introduce themselves and their project to our audience. We are going to start to do what? We are going to start our panel discussion session. I also already drop our very first round of crypto box to our audience. Friends, be sure to stay here. The longer you stay, the more crypto rewards you're going to get. Also, in addition to that, today we are going to give two different or best questions. So, friends, if you could post your question either on our Binance Live comments or on X, right? And of course, we prefer you post it on X so we could see you over there more visible, because on Binance Live we have just too many messages over here, right? Then, if your question got selected, you will be able to 25 USDT in sugar and 25 USDT in HEI token rewards. So once again, two speakers, okay, two audience, okay, two audience will have the opportunity. Be sure to post your best questions in the comments. And the very first discussion topic we'd like to talk about is about DEX trading volume is still smaller than SEX. The whole industry is clearly transforming on chain. So I wanted to ask each of our speakers, in your view, what is still stopping DEX from going truly mainstream today? And what are the main pain points that you have seen users face when using decentralized exchanges? First, we're going to bring this question to Rina BD from Hema Network. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Moonlight. So let me just share. I think when we look at what's really blocking the DEX adoption, there are three main points I do want to share here. So the first one is the fragmented user experiences. So what does that mean? Is, let's just be honest, when you're doing a trade, when you just like using a DEX, you might have to change into different wallets, right? You have to figure out the bridges, you have to connect into maybe different RPCs. It's like a lot of things you have to do a trade, and you have to learn a lot more stuff just to make a trade happen. So then there's some research here I would love to share. So in January this year, the decentralized exchanges volume hits actually the record 20% of the centralized exchange turnover, which sounds great, which means more people are using DEX to do trade. But what we don't talk about here and what we don't see is behind the scenes, the industry research, it shows that a lot of newcomers that come in and then use DEX, and they kind of abandon their trades halfway through just simply because they're confused by all the complexity, and they just give up. They will come in and join, and then they will just too difficult. So that's one thing that might stop the DEX to become a mainstream. And then another one, it will be the gas token things. It's kind of a little bit headache. So let's just see this year a massive news. The Trump meme was like such a big trending things, right, in the industry. So it's launched on Solana early this year. So what happens on this type of thing is there's a lot of traders, they only have Ethereum, and then they completely miss the first 4 hours, the best trade time possible, just because they couldn't get the Solana gas fast enough. And by the time they figured out how to bridge assets to get Solana, this and that, the opportunity was just gone. So then the real money left on the table, and just because of this gas token problem. So that's another thing. And then another one, the last thing I would like to, I think in my opinion, it was the technical overload. To ensure what does it mean, it's like, let me just say an example. So when Radium, it's a DEX that they actually processed 16 billion in a single day recently. So, but then they have a lot of support tickets that spiked, people constantly asking question, what is slip plate? What is this? What is that? So users, they shouldn't need to understand all these technical concepts just to want to make a simple trade. So that's the main, I think, the problem that we see from the current situation. So then combining all the situation, what here exactly we build HEMA, we rebranding to HEMA and expanding our project is to give out our simple approach to make DEX better. So we have the first thing is we have one Omni account that can work for the users. They use one account, they can use on any chain, they can trade with any chain possible. You just log in and then you can use. And then for this to work best, we have the Omni executor that handles all the routing and bridging and even pay gas with stable coins. So user can just do whatever trade they want, use one account, and then they want to trade, and then they can use their stable coins to do it. It's like really simple. And then the user, they can just swap, and we handle all the complexity things behind the scenes. It's actually what help the adoption to become, to get better, for user to use the product even more smoother. So I think when we're making DEX work better this way, it will be just from the beginning, we make it more simple and fast and accessible to everyone to solve this problem. So that's from my take. Thank you, Moonlight.
Wow, that is definitely a great example. Thank you so much, Rina. And I totally remember, wow, when, earlier this year, right, January, when Trump issued his token on Solana, a lot of people were actually quite surprised, right, and not really prepared. So that was definitely, wow, a huge problem where people just miss millions of dollars, right? That once in a lifetime opportunity. Amazing example. Thank you. And next, we would like to invite Nina, head of BD from Unicorn X, to also share your views regarding this topic. What are the main pain points that you have seen users face when using decentralized exchanges? Thank you.
Sure, thank you so much, Moonlight. I feel like Rina reaching out most of the reason. I think those reason is quite common for both of us. As Unicorn X, we built the DEX, so that's why we spend a lot of time to do the research, and we say the common things, and also the feedback is similar. For the beginner or the traders, the DEX, most of the DEX feel like too technical, and you definitely need some time to study by your own. YouTube, if you are a beginner, that's not friendly. As Rina shared the data already, I think this is also not good things for the whole Web3 things grow together and expand to Web2, especially because for most of the people, they are the first time to trade. And especially everyone talk about the meme coins in the earlier this years. I think there's a lot of things I had to say for new users or for DEX. There's one things we can't stop or we can do nothing before is the scam tokens. That's what we want to solve on Unicorn X, because you cannot figure it out which one is the best token, which action is a smart actions, and those honey pots. And also we're facing a lot of like no real-time risk detections. So that's why those barrier for beginners, I think it's too high, too huge. So a lot of people probably they left after 1 or 2 trading, and then it's continuously we play the same game. It's still those old friends, but those new coming traders, they don't know where to get those informations. That's why we built Unicorn X, we think we need to follow the smart actions, and also we need to training all those beginners. We offer all those processes as simple as possible, as we mentioned, like smooth and beginner friendly interface. You don't need to worry about your wallet and with chain. Actually, you don't need to know that. But what you need to know is your wallet is very safe, and the transparency fee is clearly, and also the actions, all the actions is on chain and can tracing, and also the user actually need to know where to start their steps. So that's why let's combine all those concern, and also we want to solving those problems in Unicorn X. We want to make the good products as simple as possible, especially for those beginners who those for those who started their trade on Web3 as a first step. On Unicorn X, you can just log in your wallet and you just do your trade, and you don't need to worry rest of the things. So I think combine what Rina shared, those common issue, and for ourselves, we say the scam tokens, and we want to avoid those part of the things, and we offer the good informations to all our traders and our communities in our platform. So this is quite much from our side.
Wow, that is really nice. Thank you so much, Rina, for letting us know about the Unicorn. It really does a lot, right, to help our traders in the Web3 space. Thank you. Next, let's invite Michael. Michael's co-founder at Vanilla Finance. We also like to ask you, what do you think are the main pain points that you've seen users facing when using decentralized exchanges? And also, what's still stopping DEX from going truly mainstream today? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I'll answer this in a fairly simple way, perhaps even in a Web 2 way. So the way I look at centralized exchanges is they're kind of more like a savings account. And then if you look at DEXs, they're sort of more like a checking account. And I think for most people, they don't really have much money in their checking account. That's where you do your spending. And then centralized exchange, most people will store money in their savings account. So if we look at, assets being held on a centralized exchange, it's always going to be greater than that of a DEX. I mean, even myself, if I swap money to Soulflare or DEX Screener, I make a good trade on a meme coin. First thing I do is I swap that money back to a place that I know it's safe in. I don't typically leave money in any DEXs. And that's funny because I'm building a DEX and have been building DEXs for a long time. It's just kind of my mentality is, get it back into a USDT, get it back into a wallet, take those realized profits, right? And so if you're keeping it on DEXs, I think that DEXs don't really solve that problem that well at this point. And I don't know if they ever need to. That's something that I think we have to see how the industry goes and how it expands. So with that said, how do we solve this problem? I think someone else brought up about like chain abstraction. I think that this is a big problem for DEXs. Even people that have been in the industry a long time and use any type of decentralized exchanges, you have to bridge this or swap that. All of that stuff is fairly complicated for new onboarded users. And I think just going back to the bank reference, when you go to your bank, you don't typically ask them, what technical infrastructure they're built on. You don't really care about that. You just want to know, can you store your money here and is it safe? So I think that with this said, I think that DEXs have a long way to go. If you think about how a centralized exchange feels, it kind of feels like a Web 2 bank where it's fairly easy to move money around, zero fees on a DEX. You have to do all these unnecessary steps to do that. So for mass onboarding, I think that is definitely a hurdle that the industry currently has. But I also think the question is not really that correct. What will bring DEXs mainstream? DEXs are mainstream. I also think that people think about this in the wrong way. It's not really a matter of DEXs beating centralized exchanges. It's not a competition. It's actually, these two things should be working together. Like if you use the reference that I said earlier, which is one's a checking account, one's a saving account, those two things are not in competition, right? It's more or less to figure out how to make them work really well with each other And I think currently they do. And I think that based on the DEX volume that we've had, I think DEXs are quite mainstream. And there is still a long way to go, but we're not necessarily in a bad place at this moment.
Got it. Thank you so much, Michael. Yeah, and thank you for using a easier to understanding term, right? For letting us know about certain issues that we have been facing, and also, yeah, the pinpoints, and that's really understandable. Thank you. And for friends, well, I believe most of the friends joining us on Binance Life are already with 3 years, right? Because you have to already KYC face ID verified in order to have your Binance account. But of course, we are all learning, right, to getting to learn more about how to use DEXs, right, to help us. And even Binance, right? Binance, they have their Binance wallet, and Binance wallet also helping a lot of people who have been familiar with centralized exchanges and start to learn about decentralized ways to navigate Web3 space, which is also cool. And once again, thank you so Michael for your opinion. Now let's move on to Jason. And because we still have we still have about 3 more questions, and we also need to answer to audience questions. So maybe starting from the next question, let's try to be short and sweet. Okay, thank you so much. So we can manage our time. So Jason, we would like to invite you to also share your viewpoints on some pain points that you've seen for users facing when using different exchanges. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think so. A few days before in token 2049, they also asked this question to CZ, and he give the answer like the DEX and SEX are both a gateway for the traffic for it's like to attracting the different users to being engaged to crypto world. But there's but from now on, like day by day, the different user bases are being divided in different tools or different area to be more developed. So I think maybe that's a biggest difference about like be more clearly divided the different users to be DEX and SEX. Just like if you are more professional or like alpha hunter, or you are more like the higher risk and higher engage, higher revenue, this kind of things, definitely you will be on chain, because all of the data here is completely transparent, and the market maker, all of their trading transactions recorded are being shown to you on chain, so you can be more clarity, and you can based on this stuff to make your own strategy. But if you are like a long-term investor, it'll be more easier to put your fund in Binance or other centralized exchanges and only buying like the tier 1 or tier 2 tokens that already being more than like 10 million 10 millions of market cap. So basically I think that it's only for different group of people. So there's not a huge difference, but the only thing that why people thinking about the trend are being so transformed from the SEX to DEX is because it's really lack of the liquidity. Like the bubble is basically being broken, which are being created by a very reputed VC in the last round of the bull market, and they just earn most of money and they run out of this market by this very high market cap projects, especially start from ZK. They have like a 10 billions of the market cap, but finally there's the liquidity are basically maybe less than $10 million. So compared with on chain, it'll be like a basically like it's very very similar as a scam. So that's why people lose confidence, and then they move to the DEX. But I think from the long term considerations, DEX and SEX are both of them will be exist, and it's only face to different group of people. Yeah, that's from my opinions. Thank you.
That is perfect. Thank you so much for letting us know about it. And now, we are going to go to our second discussion topic. And once again, friends, I highly recommend everyone to go check Heban Network's original post regarding our this event, right? Let's say a session, and then to post your best questions over there for a chance to win today's rewards. We're going to pick 2 best questions at the end. The next discussion topic we're going to talk about is what improvement do you think are most needed to make this interaction just easier and safer for the average user, and what feature that you're most looking forward to. Now we would like to bring this question to Rena BD from Hema Network. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Moonlight, for this. I will make it short then. It's cool. So for this question, for the easier, I can make like an industry example. So basically, let's look at 8x only. That's a DEX, and then they launch a multi-chain router with ZK Link to pool the liquidity across the whole layer 2. So what does that mean is basically for the traders, it's simple. You place one order, and then the router will quietly check order books on all those layer 2s, and then they bundles the best price and then settles the trade without the traders to need to bridge the funds or switch networks. So that's like one example that industry is moving forward on this way to make it easier. And then so to expand on this type of topic, it's from HEMA, our side, we are already delivering on these type of movements through our new technology like integration. So we use the EIP 7702. I mean, it's technical, but basically it's just a OMI account system that combined with our intent engine that we can deliver to users the best trading experiences. So then we designed our solutions to work with different accounts abstraction, and then to potentially we will just all the integration with the 47337, like this is another technical term that we're gonna integrate within the chain abstraction scope that's helping the users to have a better trading experiences. And then I'm not sure you guys have watched the news recently. The Ethereum is going to having like an upgrade, and then it will offer the even more better compatibilities with the EOA chain abstraction, this side of technology. So it's also really crucial for our industry, like a massive adoption to enhance the user trading experiences. So then, yeah, our approach is really on this flexible design to helping to make the trades easier and safer. So yeah, that's on my take.
Nice, easier and safer. That's definitely something that our users are looking forward to. Thank you so much, Rena. Next, we're going to bring the same question to Nina, head of BD from Unicorn X. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think actually from our side, what excited us most is the AI-powered real-time and also smart copy trading for all those traders. And we can helping users follow pro traders in real time and without doing anything extra, because you can leave all those actions to us. From our side, what we can do much better is, and also you can find it out from Unicorn X, is several functions. I can summarize like 4 aspects, I think. First of all is everyone, I think we mentioned already, like transparent fees. And the second part is auto flip page and gas fee. You can check and no need to do anything about it. And the third part is real-time token screening and just avoid the honeypot detections. And also, I think the last one, we can finding them out in Unicorn X easily is one-click bridging out from the multi-chain, because everyone is, I mean, no matter the pro or the beginners, we don't need to worry about that part. So for reaching out the easier and safer goals, and we are reaching out those 2 parts from the user side and also from the product sides. In the end, we all reaching out the same goal is seamless onboarding, and you just need to one click to finish your trading and your wallet import, and you can get the community support, and also you can follow pro traders in one platform that is Unicorn X. That's part of from our side.
That is just amazing. Thank you so much for letting us know about Latin friends. Be sure to check out each of our guest speakers' projects and their products because those are all amazing. Thank you so much. And next, let's welcome Michael, the co-founder at Vanilla Finance, to also talk about, do you think it's about better UX education, gas codes, or something else that the features that or the how do we make the DEX easier and safer for our average user? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the angle that I'll take on this is just from some personal discussions that I've had with a lot of Web2 hedge funds over the years. I think someone touched on that earlier from AVE that most of the big institutional funds will only use centralized exchanges, mostly because they're well tested. They've been around for a while. They're safe, and for the most part, they're safe. But I think the problem is that when it comes to institutional and big hedge funds, they do not really engage in the DEX side of the business. And so the reason why liquidity is lacking in the DEX side compared to the centralized exchange side is absolutely just because of big funds. So when if you have 1 million users that all come in and trade $10 on a DEX, right? That's not that much money in the grand scheme of things. Whereas if you have a Web2 hedge fund or a massive institutional fund come in with $3 billion, well, that is a considerable amount of money and can really shift the total liquidity and trading volume on whatever product they are doing that on. So I think really what DEXs and the whole decentralized space is lacking is really just the institutional side of things. And of course, that makes things a little bit more stable. If you look at it from a big picture, it allows a lot more liquidity to be available in those token assets. And that's what kind of makes things a little bit safer for users. Where if you look at some of the tokens that are even now or that launched in the last year, without naming any, but there are some meme coins that are still sitting at like a $300 to $500 million market cap with less than 2 million or even sometimes less than 1 million worth of liquidity. This would mean that even if 100,000 was taken out, that the price would drop considerably. But why is it sitting at a $300 million market cap? Well, I think it's because a lot of these things are artificially inflated because there's just a huge lack of liquidity in the decentralized space. So really, if we want to make the space a little bit safer and less volatile, we really need to figure out how to solve the issue of how to bring institutional funds and hedge funds into the DEX space.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michael. And we're so glad to have our speakers to share your expertise and your experience to us because you all are definitely amazing builders in the decentralized exchange space, right? And friends, I know most of our Binance Live audience are more familiar with centralized exchange, but today we are really learning together with all the expert speakers. Now, let's welcome Jason, the marketing lead from AV.AI, to also share your point of views in terms of this discussion topic. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Moonlight. So for me, maybe I'll start from the angle of the trader on chain now. So definitely it will be a better UX or a new functions features of this product can actually be a killer of this product and to be more dominant from the whole market. That's also why there's a different generation of the trading terminals since last year, January. So at the beginning, it's a TG Bolt. Then the Bolt X fountain is kind of product which are very smoothly that can see the on-chain data and at the same time can trade very fast. But then on the JMJN and also AVE grew up because there's more, there's a lot of different database like being analyzed is very covered most of the cases, and you can following with this data and to make a right decision, including a lot of on-chain data which being connected with social media like KOL or big walls or like communities. This kind of info which being leading to on-chain data, and combo with both of them can be easier for a trader to trade. But the recent months is X being grow up very fast, like being dominant more than 70% of the trading volume on chain only by 1 month is. Yeah, so basically they also didn't because of their trade very fast, or their data is also updated fast, or maybe they are more safe because as what we know, they're just a new startup. Like for safeties, no one knows, especially they don't have audit so much. But they only because have a new features which being more focused on traders. Like you can following up with tweet feed at the same time to do the trade, or they have the recommendations of the inner part of the pump the fund, or during the time of your trade, they can help you to make a very simple strategy, like when to buy in or when to sell out, and how much, and how many times, and this kind of small strategies. So, but these things are very small functions, but actually it change a lot for a trader. That bring them a better experience, at the same time can help them to make the better decisions. Because from on-chain, I believe in most of the people coming here to earn money. It's not for to realize a dream or to be like change the world, this kind of thing. They only want to double their fund or to be 100 times of their fund. So definitely the experience of trade is the killer of the whole trading terminal market, and also is especially focused on the DEX part. So basically, I think from this angles, UX must be the top one, and also for AV.AI, we're also put it in top one to considering to bring people the best experience on chain. Because if there's not a better experience, why don't just go to DEX? Like DEX is always complicated, but I think from this year it's time to change. Yeah, it's from my angles opinions. Thank you.
That's right. It's really time for us to change, to try, right? And that is why even top mega exchanges like Binance also start to work really, really hard on bringing people from centralized to the Binance wallet, right? It's a decentralized way to learn about Web3 space and to navigate. And there are actually a lot of great advantages, just like previously our speakers have all mentioned about. So, friends, if you haven't tried it, don't be hesitant. Just do it. Now, let's go to our third discussion topic. What are your thoughts on the current state of multi-chain ecosystem with fragmented liquidity and how chain constantly emerging and new chain are constantly emerging? Would you say this presents more of a challenge or as an opportunity for DEXs? First, we are going to invite Rena, BD at Hema Network, to share your viewpoints. Thank you.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Moonlight. Let me, on this point, actually, the fragmented liquidity. So the challenges is pretty obvious, to be frank. So let's see the price gaps across different chains. That means retail users, they often pay more than they should. So I've seen like the differences where the same token trades at the 3 to 5% price differences between just for example, between Ethereum and Solana. So if you confine to one chain, you're likely to getting a worse deal. So this is like a fragmentation in this part. And then there's also like a real opportunity in this type of thing, like in chain specialization. So Ethereum excels at security, as we all know, and Solana as speed, and other chains have their own strengths and this and that. So then the specialization, I think this can create a stronger ecosystem if we can actually unify the liquidity effectively. And I think that's the key point that we're all working towards on it, to make users to trade the best way possible and to use the liquidity the best way possible. And then so we also saw the proof of demand for this like unified approach from other industry examples, where I'm not sure if you guys know DEXs. They actually also launches a bridgeless multi-chain pool. There are few projects that we see already in the industry that are moving forward on this type of approach, and then which that also aligns with HEMA, that we are doing this for our OMI executor. That's exactly this. So we actually sweeps all the pools across Ethereum, Solana, BSC, and other chains simultaneously. So in this, just like that means in the same time, we're just gonna check all the chains information and then finding the absolute best price for users, and they don't need to know which chain execute their transaction. They just do the trade, and then we do the things at the back end to use the liquidity the best way possible. And then I think I'm particularly proud. I would love to show to share it's how we can let users to maximize their current digital assets. They can basically use whatever stable coins that they can use to do as gas. Just for the example, as you introduced before, for example, if you're a trader and then you are holding Arbitrum tokens, for example, and then you can use them to loan Trump and USDT in a perpetual DEX without ever having to swap to any other chains. So this is a cross-chain multi-collateral approach that I think is a game changer that we are using to change the whole trading experiences, to enhance them, to use the best way possible. They just do whatever trade they want to, and then we maximize their use their existing digital assets, and then to help them to any cross-chain trading the best way possible. That's from my side. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Rena. And due to time limit, we have, about 15 minutes left. Let's go to Nina. Nina, would you like to also share your viewpoints over here? Thank you.
Sure, I'm gonna make the answer much short, because we say this same as everyone. We say this is a challenging, but also a big, massive opportunities for the smart DEX. I think, as an example, Unicorn X, we a great liquidity already crossing Solana, BNB, Ethereum, and multiple chains. So in our platform, you don't need to worry about this part. And we auto switch network based on the best route. So as I mentioned many times already, for the readers, you don't need to worry that which chain you are. And we make the multi-chain feels like a single chain. So all the traffic or all the stuff, leave it to us. And then we have no wallet switching, no extra steps. So we think in the end, users, they don't care too much about which chain they are on, and they just want to get the best price and faster actions, and also obviously we mentioned many times the smooth experience. So that's exactly what we deliver. We want to deliver, and what we delivered already in Unicorn X. That's quite much from my side, more like.
Got it. Thank you so much for letting us know about it. And well, let's go to Michael. And what do you think? Well, or what do you see are the regarding the current state, right, of the multi-chain ecosystem? Thank you.
I think some of the other points that were mentioned, I think chain abstraction is the biggest problem, right? Fragmentation of chains. The last speaker just mentioned that people don't care about what chain they're on, and I could not agree more. I used the example that I used earlier of when you go to the bank, you just send money from point A to point B. You have no idea what banking infrastructure it's built on. Most people don't know. And so I think that that's the key point. I think that chains have gotten a little bit out of control over the last couple of years. We started off with layer one, and we had in the beginning of the blockchain space, like 2014, 2015, we had just a handful of chains. Obviously, innovation is great, but there comes a point when there's just too much and the space gets crowded. And then if you want to work with this project, you have to bridge assets from this chain to that chain, and counting into effect that it's the currency, how many users that are new to the space lose funds along that journey. So all of it is quite messy. So I think there's a long way to go with that. I think that at the end of the day, there will only be in if we look at this industry 10 or 20 years in the future, there will only be a few dominant chains, just like how now there's only a few dominant centralized exchanges. You know, if you want to open a centralized exchange nowadays, you need a ridiculous amount of funding to be able to get it online and to take market share away from, you know, the five big players. So it's going to become a certain point in the future where it's almost not financially possible to open a new centralized exchange. I think we're almost there now. And I think the same thing will happen with chains, where there will just be so many dominant, there will be a certain group of dominant chains that exist that whoever doesn't reach it into that thing will just be building on such a tiny scale that it will be pretty hard for users to consider those chains as an option. And I think that there's still a long way to go before we get there, and there's still a lot more innovation that needs to be done, and that's great. But I think that the industry is perhaps a little bit messy now, with all of the layer twos that have come out. I think there's more than like 5,000 layer twos that have come out in the last 2 years. I mean, that's just too much, right? I can't wrap my head around 5,000 different chains to use. So I stick to the ones that I like and the ones that I trust, and that's what I interact on. So I think that that's where the future's heading in terms of that, and I think that that's maybe the current problem that we have.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Totally agree with you, Michael. 5,000 there too. We definitely cannot do that, right? Definitely need, well, chain abstraction. This is really, really helpful for us. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Now we would like to hear the viewpoints from Jason, the marketing lead at AV.ai. What do you see, well, the current state of multi-chain ecosystem? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I think for multi-chain trading platforms, the particle network, their product, the Universal X, already been doing very, very good. I'm also a users of this product for since 3 months is before, which means that you can use a gas from different chains to pay on each chain's token to buy or sell out. At the same time, you don't need to do the cross chain or other operations by yourself. I think maybe there's a lot of products also are doing the same like this. So basically, for the trade, for the level of trade, there's no difference from a multi-chain or single chain. Maybe in the next 2 years, but the liquidity of each chain definitely will be totally different, which means different chains, their MEV both are like in some of the chains, the MEV both maybe will eat your maybe 50 or 60% of your money that want to buy in, or like different or as what am I saying, like most of the average liquidity of the each chains are also different. So basically for AV.ai, we're integrating every month is more than 5 new chains being here. But some of the chains, they've been very bad trading volumes, like less than 100 traders in these new chains. The problem is that there's so few tokens, and these tokens are very hard to make money. Like basically, the increase space are very limited. That's also why the new chains always cannot attracting more users to be in here. Uh, but what am I saying? What am I see from the last few months? They also have many chains like a Morph or other layer twos or other layer one chains, but it's more deep diving in the community. They also been doing very good, but I think from the new chains and have a small liquidity, maybe they are being more focused on one or two tokens at the beginning and being bring a lot of people to be 100 200 times of the revenue of these tokens, the profits, and then it'll be more healthy promoted in the next months. Is maybe there's will be 10 times, and the next month will be 100 times more mini coins or other utility tokens to be higher MC in this new chain. So I don't think it'll be a big problem that too many chains and too bad liquidity of new chains. I just think like just being focused on each chains or what you are being more useful for, like AI chains, RWA chains, or you are just like a fastest chains. Just focus on your utilities, and each chain can be in this space. And we don't see that because of too much chain, so the liquidity will be totally divided. Because this crypto world, it belongs to everyone. So they still have opportunities. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you so much for sharing your views with us, Jason. And well, we still have 3 questions, friends. And well, our time is really, really tight. So let's try to wrap this up pretty well in about 15 minutes. So last question before we go over to pick our best questions from our audience is, what kind of infrastructure or design principles could make DEX more invisible in the user journey? And in other words, how do we make DEX feel as a seamless, a centralized app? We would like to bring this question to Rena, the BD at HEMA Network. Thank you.
Right, thank you. I can wrap this up in a short way. I couldn't agree more. All the speakers were talking about there are so many chains and this and that. So how to make it more invisible? I guess the first thing is just we should build a app that's user can use. They just say that what they want to trade, and then the app itself at the back end will automatically choosing the best path and then handling the execution at the back end without them needing to learn everything. So it's like an intent-based trading where you just want to trade, and then execution in the back we handles all, which HEMA's doing this. And then this will also simplify all the trading experiences, right? So no more bridging, no more this account switching and that to understand different, so many chains no one gonna understand. It will be the best way possible, the same as what Michael said. I just want to do this trade A from B, and then we get it done, solve it. And then another one will be the universal cross-chain accounts. One account, you can just do all the transactions, whatever trade you want, handle multiple things in the same time. So what I'm trying to say in short is basically right now what we're trying to do is to helping all the developers and the DEX that can use our API and then our Omni-chain account and Omni executor that can provide all the DEX to give their users the best trading experiences. And then with this enhancer and with our technology combining together, I think it's like a really good thing to move this forward, to let users just to trade, and then we handle everything at the back end. So in short, we do focus on just providing users the same trading experiences like a centralized exchange, like no brainer, easy to trade. And then our chain abstraction is such a broad concept, but then in HEMA, we just simplified it, and then we use our intent networks on chain agents and the automations to help users and the developers to make it achievable to have a good trading experiences. But I think it's the last question. I do want to do a shout out that we are actually providing a lot of developer and DEX projects if they want to expand on this side of product upgrade to make the trading more invisible at the back end, to make it more simplified. Feel free to reach out to us that we can provide case by case help to help your DEX to do the best trading experiences. Thank you, Moonlight.
That is great. Thank you so much for letting us know about that. And friends, if you are interested, be sure to reach out to Rena at HEMA Network for further collaborations with them. Thank you. And next, let's go to Nina, the Unicorn X head of BD, to also share your views regarding this topic. What kinds of infrastructure or design principles to make DEX more invisible in the user's journey? Thank you.
Sure. I think for us, invisible for everyone means predictable, fast, and safe, especially on DEX. So we are also following the same goal as I shared many times already. Users don't see the chains, and they just see the result. So our design actually following several steps. First of all, every single feedback we are available on that part, and also we give you instant reply every single actions. And the second part is, as I mentioned, we hope you have the minimal input. the fewer taps, your fewer actions from your side, and more smart options from the AI choice. The third part actually is a smart default. We mentioned, and during this AMAs, we talk many times about the gas fee or the slate page. We just give you the best choice from the platform, and you can follow. And based on the network options, we will definitely make sure you got the best price. And the last one is, I think we follow up the principle, like make the wallet as simple as possible, so you can use your native wallet and you can integrate it like in an in-app experience, and you don't need to worry about your multiple or many wallet different platform. So we are following those 4 steps to make sure all our users, we don't need to see the different chains. We just see your result, and we make sure your result is smart and also the safe one. This is what we can say, and we follow this kind of design.
Wow, I like that. It seems like Unicorn X also really care about user experience, right? And continue to improve about it. Thank you so much for letting us know regarding this topic. And next, let's welcome Michael from Vanilla Finance to also talk about at Vanilla Finance, how do you change the design principles or infra to make DEX more invisible in the user journey? Is that, well, how to make DEX feel seamless, right, as centralized app? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I think this word or this phrase gets thrown around a lot, like building for Web 2 or onboarding the next 100 million Web 2 users. And even though this term is thrown around a lot and often misused, I still think that this is important. So if we look at the most recent data of how many crypto users there are in the world, I think the last, or perhaps even if we just focus on on chain, I think in total there's about 300 million native for crypto users. With a population of 8 billion, there's obviously a large gap there. So of course, when a project is looking to acquire users, the first goal is maybe looking at, well, how can we acquire a percentage of the 300 million, right? But then I think the second question you have to ask yourself is, how do we onboard the other 7.7 billion people? And to do this is you have to make it as Web 2 native as possible, right? Always keep in mind like Web 2 first. So with our product, we make it very simple. It doesn't feel like a crypto app. It's about as simple as it could be. Even though we're a DEX, it very much feels like a centralized exchange. But we will continue to build in this way and iterate new products that just solve the problems of traditional DEXs. Again, going back to bridging and swapping and all this stuff, I think that this stuff is it doesn't have a much long lifespan in this industry.
Gotcha. Yes. Well, friends, I definitely recommend all of you, if you are watching us, let me see how many live audience that we got. Ooh, we got over 15,000 live audience. Friends, this is just amazing. Be sure to go to each of our guest speakers' platforms, right, and try their products. You are going to like it because all of the team members have been working really hard to design seamless, well, DEX, right, platforms. And well, just like wanted you to feel like you don't feel like you're using a DEX, right? It's kind of smooth. And next, let's invite Jason from AV.ai to also share your views. Because I also know that AV.ai is a quite popular product, right? Would you like to let us know what kind of infra or design principle could make DEX more invisible in the user's journey? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Moonlight. I think from different stages, since 2 years before, the DEXs are not only new DEXs. So I think the first principle is not only do DEX, also do something else to add more volume on it. I think the beginning is from Jupyter. Jupyter also do per DEX and also do like Launchpad. not only for DEXs, and added a lot of utility on their tokens and became a very, very good and rich community or like a DAO organization. So after that, I think from the last year, the Pump Fund start to do their own DEX. So the Mimicoin Launchpad not only do this, they also launch their own DEX. And then the Radium and the Meta they make their own infra to help different projects to make their own pump fund based on different funding curve or inner and outside liquidity rules being designed. So basically, what we can see is that from the whole timeline, all of these successful DEXs are not only focused on DEX. They also try to break the traditional rules of DEXs that you only focus on your slippage, only focus on the liquidity pool, the rules, and also only focus on the bonding curves. It's enough to be more smooth and anti-MEV. That's enough for DEX. But from all we can see, this 2 years is totally wrong. That all of the DEXs should be expected to more way and to be more smoothing and good for exchanges. This kind of things should put on us like these aggregators, so that we can make sure all of the DEXs can be treated together and have more smooth experience. So basically, the DEX that what we see before is only a DEX. It's only like an infra to provide the liquidity. But the real DEX should also have the utility, like in the future, so DEX is only into business, is not to customer. And all of the different DEXs, if you want to be breakout and to have more original users, it's not only enough to support business, because what we can see, almost there's only pump fund or each chain only have one or maximum two launchpad or mimicoin trading platforms. So if you don't expand to more business, maybe you will only be an infra, and this infra will be very, very compatible. Yeah, so from my angles, in the future, more DEXs should be also comboed with different DeFi protocols. Like maybe you can try CDP, try lending, try perp DEX, or like even you can extend to ST or RWA, or other even more imageable kind of things. It will be amazing in the future. Yeah, that's from my opinion. Thanks.
Got it. Thank you so much, Jason. Well, once again, I wanted to ask everyone to give all of our speakers and their project a follow. And also, on top of that, be sure to really, really give it a try. Because I have to say that I've been using several of our guest speakers' project, and I am going to try all of them right after today's AMA session. They sound amazing. I really, really wanted to see how invisible, right? How seamless those products are. And I believe you all will be amazed by these products as well. Now, let's go to where we got so many comments right here on Binance Live. And also, let me check. Yes, we also have a lot of comments on X. And we're going to pick one for Vanilla Finance and the other one for Hema Network. And each of you will win 25 USDT worth of sugar, and another one will win 25 USDT worth of Hey token. So let's check. Well, as you all know that right now we have over 15.5 thousand live audience. It's really difficult to pick. But let's check. I think it's probably easier to go to Twitter or X over here. And later, our project teams, right, our sponsors could also directly contact them through X. So let's do it. Let me check. To pick a good question. Okay. Okay, now I see that there's one question that's quite good and also direct to Hema Network. Okay, from Wen Lambo asking, Hema emphasized a single Omni account experience, right? Ooh, right. And you have been listening carefully. So how does that actually work under the hood, and how does it differ from using a smart wallet or aggregator today? So I believe this is a question for our Hema Network BD Rina. You can either answer right now on site, or you can just reply to the message later on X. Either way is fine. Thank you.
Right. Okay. You can send me the users. I can reply him privately.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And next, okay, over here. Previously we heard Michael, right, the co-founder of Vanilla Finance, talk about chain abstraction, talk about, wow, did you say 5,000 different chains? That's really a lot. That's just too many, right? So here, Amber has a question for you. She asks, what emerging DEX innovation, for example, cross-chain solution, layer 2 scaling, or AI integration, do you think has the most potential to drive the next wave of DeFi growth? And once again, Michael, you could either answer her right now on site, or you could just reply to her later, either privately or on X publicly. So either way will work. Yeah, it's up to you. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I'll answer that here. I mean, without being biased, I think Vanilla Finance is the best DEX. But just to give a serious answer, I think that I think that a lot of the DEXs already exist, right? So, first of all, using AI, for me, I have a pretty different opinion about AI being involved in DeFi than I think most people do in the crypto space. I think that AI is not really exclusive to Web 2 or Web 3. It's just AI. It's information. It's feeding data sets through machine learning to basically train models of best practice. So I think for financial products to integrate AI, I think it's a very far away thing. There may be projects that are already claiming that they can suggest which tokens to trade or things like that. But I think for now, that's probably still really far away from being something that we can rely on reliably. So I think currently AI, just to focus on the AI part of the question, I think currently it more comes down to like news feeds. So getting, top information, quick information first using AI, uh, you know, um, structure to basically have data feeds be given to you in real time as they happen in the industry. I think that this is great. I think you can make your best judgment calls, when you receive information. Like, for example, if you were one of the first people to receive news about Trump launching his token, I think that's definitely a great head start. So using AI for that type of thing is great. I still think that for we at Vanilla, we looked at integrating AI into our product of essentially creating a model where it would suggest certain tokens that launch based on certain parameters, that it would give feedback as to like whether or not we think this is a token to invest in. But to be honest, we had kind of put that product a little bit on hold as we explore more ways to implement that into our product, because it's a huge undertaking to do that. But back to the original question, I think that like Radium and Jupiter, I think have really set the dominance, and PancakeSwap as well have really set the dominance for DEX spaces. I think we can think of those three as like the Binance, the Bybit, and the OKX of the DEX space. So now we'll see in the next couple of years as to which DEXs take the place of them or compete against them for market share. And again, I think it comes down to there only being a few players in the space that actually contribute, and we'll probably see a lot of DEXs come out, and there'll be some that come and some that leave, and in the end there will only be a few, and there's nothing wrong with that. But along the way, I hope that we experience as much innovation as possible, and also solve a lot of the security and safety issues that come with innovation.
Thank you so much, Michael, for carefully answer our live audience question. And yes,
Hey, sorry, I'm
Let's
sorry for interruption. I
yes,
think I can answer in short here on live set as well. I
sure.
just didn't catch what you said before. Was he asking the difference between OMI account to the DEX aggregator and then the other normal smart contract wallet? Was that the question?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I just answer in short. It's pretty easy to understand. So Hema Omi account, basically it's one wallet that works on every chain. You can log in once and trade everywhere. And if we see like DEX aggregator, a DEX aggregator, they only finds the best price, and you still have to switch wallets, bridge tokens, and pay with different exchange gas. And then other normal wallet contract is also the same thing. Like you have to do the same procedure, extra fees and different chains. So what we do is we actually combine everything in one. And Omi Chain account in Hema means we keeps you one address, same address, and lets you to pay fees and with any token and do trades on any chains. So that's why we say it's Omi account. So one account that removes all the changing and all the trading backend problems. So which means users, you can just use the one account, Omi account, and then do all the trading within this account. And then it's already including the checking the gas, routing the best price, and everything with other thing you can do with combining all to one. If that's your question, this is my answer.
Lovely. Thank you so much for answering our audience questions. Yeah, both to Michael and to Rena. Well, I have to say that although I wanted to keep everyone longer, but we need to wrap up our AMA today. And thank you all for amazing answers. So everyone, thank you for staying through a deep dive into the evolving world of decentralized exchanges. And from our pinpoint to infar improvement, it's clear that while DEX has come a long way, right? There's still a lot of room for innovation, especially when this comes to cross-chain experience. And before we close, I wanted to give a quick spotlight to Hema Network, one of our sessions, feature projects, and also the organizer of today's event. Hema is a new Layer 1 blockchain that's rethinking how we interact with DeFi across chains. With Omni accounts, you log in once, and from there, you can trade across multiple chains in a single click. The magic? Hema takes care of routing, gas, and security in the background. So that makes cross-chain actions feel like if they are happening on a one unified app. So everyone, don't forget to check it out. And to learn more about Hema, be sure to watch their official channels, right? And keep an eye on their upcoming updates. Also, thank you to our sponsors. Thanks to Vanilla Finance for sponsoring $25 US DT worth of sugar tokens. And thank you for Hema Network for sponsoring $25 worth of Hey tokens. And congratulations to our winners for receiving the rewards. Winner will be announced publicly on X. And stay tuned. Thank you again. We really glad to have all of you joining our session today. See you next time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Feel free to just leave the backstage. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.